As I establish the feet, you'll see that I try to sculpt them flat to the base as much as I can to really get the feeling of weight there. Now, the character in this film is wearing cowboy boots, which I don't have tremendously good reference on at the moment. So for now, I'm just going to wing it and make them kind of pointy-toed shoes. But eventually, to really get it accurate, I should probably get a hold of some very good cowboy boot reference. I'm starting to establish fabric folds. Now you'll see that I've got a fairly simple way for establishing the beginning of that by just laying down strips of clay and smearing them in. Now fabric is a very, very tricky animal in terms of sculpting. You have to have a tremendous amount of reference to do it well. It has a peculiar series of rules. You know, there are places where it specifically will get peaks and the way that peaks branch off, and, you know, it's a very complicated and unusual thing to be called upon to sculpt, at least in our industry. But for sculptors in general, it's a tremendous skill to have when you can sculpt fabric convincingly. I'm probably going to establish just kind of a general look to the wrinkles in the cloth here. But when you do it well, it really adds a touch of class to your work. Generally, you're going to see most serious wrinkles and folds in fabric when it comes to pants, in the crotch area, and of course at the bottom of the pants where they contact the shoe area. And it's probably going to be more kind of buckled here and more of a feeling of stretched here. Now up close, it looks very sloppy and very, you know, almost meaningless. Like, what are those forms? But when you step away from it, the impression is of wrinkled pants at the bottom of the cuff. The reason that you want to start off so loose is, once again, because you want to stay with your fingers and not establish a bunch of tool work yet. And you want to get that overall impression first, the overall feel of pants that are buckling at the bottom cuff there. I establish my hands usually in kind of a mitten shape like this to start with. I'm going to cut this just a little shorter. I don't create an armature for hands or the head because I like to be able to tweak them minutely as I put them on. You'll notice that as I place the hand, I tweak little things about it, just subtle little things. Notice how I don't have the hand exactly straight like this. I tweak it down just a bit, because actually people, when they hold guns, their wrists bend a little bit. What this is doing is it's helping me to establish the exact dynamism of the pose that I want. And in creating this, I will be able to use it as a guideline for everything that is subsequent. So in establishing whoever I cast the body of, I can use this as a reference and say, this is the pose, you know, and to use it to compare against when posing my actor, when tweaking the figure in whatever way I do. This is kind of a guideline for everything that I want the finished piece to be. Right now I'm establishing the proportions of the face a little more firmly, and it's starting to come together. I'm getting some of the details of the anatomical structure in the head down. I'm going to add the ears in. There are several tricks that you can learn. One of them is that the active part of your face is about the size of the palm of your hand, from your eyes down to your chin. Okay? Eyes are one eye apart. So you have one eye here, then there'd be an eye in the middle, and then another eye all the way over there. The mouth comes to the middle of each eye. Okay, this way. Okay? The nose, generally speaking, lines up with the ear. Okay? And the eyes come halfway down the head. Now that's not always true, but generally speaking, they come halfway down the head. And I've got all those things sort of established in here. And now we're ready to start going in with tools and start refining our sculpture.